Welcome to another ASSA ABLOY Academy virtual instructor-led training. My name is Chad Tibbets. I'll be your lead instructor for today. Today's topic is going to be an overview of Norton low energy operators. We're going to cover a variety of topics in that. But before we get started, if this is your first time joining us, thanks for being here today. We do these typically once a day, right around the 2 o'clock Eastern time. So check out more of our VILT schedule on our website, assabloyacademy.com. Also, while you're there, if you haven't signed up for our online academy, that's completely different from our virtual instructor-led training that we're doing today. There we have over 50 online courses that are completely free for you, and you can take those to gain more industry knowledge and also more knowledge about our products here at ASSA ABLOY. So as we get started, I wanted to just remind everybody that there is a Q&A feature built into Zoom. I'm sure after a year, most of you are experts at Zoom, but just thought I'd remind you there is a Q&A. That's how you communicate to me. I'll be monitoring that as we go through here and answer any questions I possibly can. If not, then I can always send you an email after the class to follow up with some other questions, or if I need to give you contact information from somebody else who has the answers. So again, today's topic is Norton low energy operators. It's just going to be a really high level overview. Stay tuned to the future for some more in-depth coverage of the Norton low energy operators per model, and also some things that are going to be coming up as well will be some hands-on classes. Well, I should say hands-on. They're going to be classes where I will have an actual operator in my office, and it will be more of an interactive session where you get to ask questions real time, and then I can run you through programming and setting up the individual operators. So stay tuned for more information on that as we publish our schedules. With ASSA ABLOY, safety is always first. And normally if we had this live in-person training, then we would be talking about emergency exits and meeting places and things like that. But in the context of today's class, just want to make sure that if you're working on operators, most of our operators are tied directly to a 124 or 120 volt AC system. And just be careful when you're working on them. You never know who came before you. And there could be bare wires and things like that from previous installations. So just be careful. So again, today's class, we're going to go through a brief introduction. We're going to watch a video about the long and rich history of Norton. We're going to look at high energy versus low energy, kind of what that means, because Norton only sells low energy operators. So it's important to know what the difference is on those. We're going to talk about terms of an operation, what these operators can do, what they can't do. And within all of those features, some operators only have those and others don't. So we're going to talk about individually what the operators can do and what they can't. And we'll talk about the model overview, application for each of these operators. Why would you use one over another? Within that, we'll talk about some really awesome kits that Norton has put together for you in 2020 that make it just a really easy part number that you can put in that comes with push buttons and other accessories that you might need for a particular type of install that you're looking for. We'll look at the catalog and how to order, and also have a pricing exercise at the end. Now, also at the end of this presentation, we'll go through some tools that we've made available, not us as the Academy, but tools that are available from ASSA ABLOY, digital tools, and how that can help you in your job. So we're going to watch a video. It's a short video talking about Norton's rich history, and then we'll get back into the class.
In the mid-1870s, at a pastor's request, Lewis C. Norton quieted a door at Trinity Church in Boston with his first door closer. From that Boston church to our headquarters in Monroe, North Carolina, things have come a long way. But even with the many advances in product design and manufacturing, our focus continues to be on the needs of our customers. Our engineering team uses the latest software to develop innovative, high-quality, and reliable door control products. From standard door closers to fully electronic door operators, our products are designed with commercial and institutional environments in mind. These products are then produced using high-tech manufacturing and assembly techniques in our ISO 14001 certified operation. And of course, rigorous testing is done to ensure the quality necessary for tough applications and to meet ANSI BHMA standards. And our most important asset is our people. These hard-working professionals are dedicated to making the best door control product you'll ever buy. And we're dedicated to making Norton a great place to work. For all these reasons and more, we think Mr. Norton would be proud of our continuing dedication to making innovative, quality products to meet our customers' needs.
So isn't it nice that we've got third-party testing out there in the marketplace? That kind of keeps everybody honest and makes sure that companies just don't make claims about their product, but these claims are actually backed up by third-party testing data. And part of that is the ANSI BHMA certification, the A156.19, and also in Canada, the CSA C22.2. And this is just keeps us honest and keeps us in check. And you know that when you buy something that's been certified and tested to those standards, then that means quality. So let's talk about low energy versus high energy. So high energy is manufactured by ABLOY by entrance systems, and these are designed for high use and high abuse applications. High energy doesn't have anything to do with the amount of electricity that we put into these operators, but they have to be installed by a certified installer. And usually the company that installs these, the company that installs them and sells these high energy operators, are the ones that also have service contracts and maintain them for safety and compliance. So they have built-in safety sensors. They're, again, designed to be used all day long. People can walk up to these looking at their cell phone, and there's a motion sensor that opens up automatically, where a low energy operator is not allowed to be wired that way per code. And here's a quick video of just an example. This is the back of our training vehicle, our mobile installation training vehicle. And we have a full energy operator. It's really nice. You can just walk in, the door slides right open. With low energy operators, and again, I mentioned that Norton only manufactures low energy operators. They require a knowing act in order to open them. So that could be a button press, that could be a fob, that could be a wall switch, something within arm's reach. And there are specific codes on where those buttons have to be placed. And in certain states or regions, they also make sure that you have more than one button, and they're so far off the floor for wheelchairs. So check your local jurisdiction for that. But they have to be done with a knowing act. Now we sell safety sensors, right? But don't confuse these with an activation sensor. I guess technically somebody could take a safety sensor and wire it in like a motion sensor that creates an activation, but then we open ourselves up into all kinds of liability. So most of the time, these doors are going to be used as an ADA purpose for wheelchairs. And some of our models work really, really well as a standard door closer if you don't actually press the activation button. So just know, low energy requires a knowing act. We can add safety sensors that will stop the door in motion. If it sees somebody walking down the hall, walking past the door, it can stop mid-cycle and then go back to a full open or a full closed position, depending on the model. But just know that high energy require more certification. They're more expensive. They're designed to be used all day long, and you don't have to press a button to activate them. You can just walk up to them, whereas low energy does require that knowing act. So we're going to get into some terms and definitions. things that you think about if you're recommending operators to a customer, things that you need to ask, things that you have to be thinking about before you recommend a particular model. One of them is closing time, close check latch speed, closing force, right? So closing time is from that 90-degree point to the latch position, or what we call the close check, and that's the last 10 degrees. It's similar to a door closer. A door closer has that sweep or the closing speed, and then the latching speed, and finally it goes to the close position. And then that closing force, how much force does the door have, or the operator give the door in order to latch, but also how much force is being felt by the user as that operator is trying to close. So all of these things are regulated by ANSI BHMA. The operator can only push so hard, it can only close so fast. And so we make our operators out of the box, several of our operators out of the box are going to be ADA and ANSI BHMA compliant, but there's ways that you can adjust them higher or lower. So one of the really cool features that's available with a couple of our operators is power assist. Here's a little quick video of me demonstrating that. But what I'm doing is I'm barely pressing on that door. The door is sensing, the operator is sensing that I want to go through the door, and it actually takes a lot of the force that I would normally feel and turns the motor on and helps me go through that opening. What it doesn't do, it doesn't take it from my hand. So if I walk through that door and I only open the door to 45 degrees, well, the door is only going to open to that degree of angle. I'm going to walk through and then the door is going to close back. We have another feature here in a second we'll talk about that takes the door from your hand and goes to the full open position, whatever you have that set to. It could have been 90 degrees all the way up to 180 degrees, depending on the installation. But power assist is great for, let's say people are in a walker, or they maybe aren't as sure on their feet. They didn't see the handicap button, so they're leaning on the exit device or they're leaning on a door handle. They're pushing the door open. The operator is just going to make that door feel light as a feather, and that way they can get through the opening. Next is a feature called dynamic braking. Dynamic braking is almost like an electronic back check. Back check in a door closer slows the door down right before it gets to its full open position, and that just prevents the door from banging into a wall or pulling on the arm, ripping it off of the door frame or the door itself. And dynamic braking is something, a feature available in one of our operators. It's very similar in another one, but again, that just slows the door down once it senses a high wind or abusive opening.
The ADA Easy was designed to function like an ordinary door closer. The spring forces are fully adjustable, number 2 to number 6, or 4 to 15 pounds of opening force. And I open the door, a controlled open and a controlled close, just like an ordinary door closer. When automating a very large and heavy door, for example, this door, 48 inches wide, 250 pounds with a full armor plate, a feature called dynamic braking will slow the door down to protect it from abuse or high wind. I can demonstrate. So ordinary traffic uses the door like an ordinary door closer. High wind or abusive traffic engages dynamic braking.
So I think you could see where that could come into play, where that could be useful. The operator that we're actually showing right there is a very low profile, almost like a hybrid operator, and that is our Norton 5800 series ADA EZ, which we'll get into a little bit later. Another thing that you got to think about, can your operator do this, and does your facility require it, is a blow open for smoke, or in terms when we have a fire, does the door need to actually open to a full open position because there is a smoke area at the top? Maybe there's evacuation fans that pull smoke so that people can see and evacuate. Now, I wouldn't say that it's that common. Most of the time, you know, when there's a fire alarm, the doors that are open need to go closed, but in some cases they need to open up. So Some of our operators have that feature built in where you can turn that blow open for smoke on. And what that'll do is the fire alarm will close a connection in the operator itself. It will signal the operator to stay open as long as it's got that connection. The next feature we're going to talk about is power close.
In applications where you have wind, stack pressure, or weather stripping holding the door open, you can engage the power close feature. The motor will turn on and actually pull the door to the closed position.
So power close can be useful when we're, again, overcoming that stack pressure. You have to note that not all operators do have that feature. We have electromechanical and electrohydraulic. We'll cover those here in a little bit, but electrohydraulic, they are closing a door using a hydraulic door closer. So it's not an electrified way of closing the door. So if you require power close and you really want to think about your environment, if you have, say, the front door of an office and they also have rear garage doors or overhead doors that they have open all the time, that can blow wind or air through the building and the front doors will float. Well, you may want an operator on that door that has a power close feature to force that door closed and cut that air current off.
In this case, we're using motorized latch retraction, surface vertical rod. So in an exit situation or an entrance situation, we're going to have to retract the latches and then engage the operator. So here's an example, retracting the latches, waiting a second, and then engaging the operator.
Yeah, so this feature is called a motor start delay. You really need to pay attention to this if you're going to be putting the operator on anything that's got a latch retraction exit device or an electric strike. We don't want the operator to open the door at the exact same time that those are trying to unlock. So several of our operators have this feature built in that you can turn on, and also adjustable for time on a couple of operators. And then one of our operators, you can add it as an add-on with an accessory board. But this is really important. A lot of integrators and installers will add extra relays, timer relays, so that they can achieve this with another operator. But just know that we've thought ahead, and most of our operators have it built in to where once it gets an input signal, it will wait a second and a half all the way up to 5 seconds or so the door has a chance to unlock or unlatch before it opens. The next one we're going to look at is obstruction detection. So what I was demonstrating right there is the Norton 6300, and it has obstruction detection available on both sides, the open and the closed, because it's an electromechanical operator. Thing you have to note, if it's an electrohydraulic, again, I said earlier that means that we've got a door closer that is doing the closing. If you have a door closer that's doing the closing and the operator comes with obstruction detection, that means that obstruction detection is only active on the opening cycle, not on the closing cycle. Closing cycle, it'd just be like a door closer pushing on you that you're walking through a normal opening. So if you need obstruction detection on both the open and the closing cycle, then we would want an electromechanical operator.
So the way push and go works is if you open the door slower than the opening speed setting, the door will automatically start opening. If you open the door faster than the opening speed setting, it will not open. It'll work just like a standard door closer. So the way push and go works is if you open.
So let's talk about push and go for a second. This is, again, very similar to that power assist But in this case, the operator is sensing that you want to push the door open. And again, it will open it all the way to the limit, whatever you set that device to. So if you set it to 90, that operator is going to push the door open to 90. At 180 degrees with a couple of our operators, again, it's going to go all the way that distance. It's key to note that if you're trying to use this for primary handicap use, don't know if it's a good idea to have push and go open. For that reason that I stated earlier, somebody may be relying on that door handle or that exit device to prop themselves up as they're walking through the opening, and you don't want the door to come out of their hands during that. So power assist would work better in those situations, but push and go can be great for facilities where you're trying to push carts through. We have an engineering facility here in Dallas. They're always pushing carts through the doors, and all of the doors are set up on push and go. Works great for them. So ask those questions, figure out if it fits. It's a cool feature. It does fit in some environments. Thanks for the question. Question was, what facility is push and go best fit for? And I hope I answered that. If not, hit me later. The next feature we're going to talk about that is available with several of our operators is vestibule delay. This is where we have a vestibule. We have that barrier in between the outside of the building and the inside, and we want to potentially time our operators together. So let's say I've got my hands full, I hit the outside operator button, that door opens, I walk into the vestibule, and then a few seconds later, up to 15 seconds, the next operator opens automatically. Well, these operators are tied to each other. They have a wire that connects to one. I guess you could probably do it wirelessly as well, but most of the time they're hardwired. And we can set that up where just one button press will open two doors, but not at the same time. It gives enough time. You time it so that the door that you walk through first shuts behind you, and then the vestibule, the other door will open. Now, obviously, you don't want to get trapped in the vestibule, so we do have to put buttons on the inside as well, but it's a cool feature that is really useful in some situations. So those were features that you got to think about, right? Does my door need to act like this? Does my customer need a door that will do this? What are they looking for when it comes to the individual operator? Because we have different operators with different features, with different price points, and we do that because there are a lot of different applications. We're going to get into model specifics, and we'll talk a little bit about applications and where those operators fit. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to watch a video of the Norton 6300. This is an operator that's been out now for, I think, about 3 years. It's really cool. Last year, it went through an update on how it programs, which we'll show you. But here's a video of the 6300 overview, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it.
Smart, simple, and good looking. The 6300 low-energy door operator offers users enhanced safety and operation while blending with the aesthetics of your facility. Important safety options like latch assist ensures doors close and latch, while obstruction detection safeguards all users. Push and go and power assist make each person's interaction with the door almost effortless. A modular 4-piece design with a full-length backplate that doubles as a template allows for easy installation. And Norton introduces the first door operator with online programming capabilities on any device with a Wi-Fi connection. Programming and future adjustments are simple and straightforward, allowing users to make precise settings. Those same settings can also be standardized across multiple units through a USB port. This state-of-the-art development enables fast, easy commissioning and long-term ease of use, eliminating need for the expensive service contracts promoted by other, more complicated door operator companies. Featuring one of the industry's slimmest profiles, The 6300 operator blends into the frame of any single or double doorway. Smart, simple, and good-looking. Norton's 6300 low-energy operator delivers all three, from open to close.
So like I said, the 6300 has been out for 3, maybe 4 years, and it just went through a programming and interface update about a year and a half ago, and that's where we added the Wi-Fi programming. So let me make a little bit clear what that means if you have never programmed one of these via Wi-Fi. We're not saying that you need Wi-Fi access near the operator. All we're saying is that you can use a device that have the ability to connect to a Wi-Fi network. So that could be a cell phone, that could be your tablet, that could be a laptop, a laptop that you just took there that's unplugged. Anything that can access a browser, whether you have internet access or not, it's not important. What the operator is doing is creating and producing its own Wi-Fi signal that you then tie into. You use the serial number of the operator as the password, and then you can immediately get into the settings. There's a couple of different ways that you get the operator to turn that Wi-Fi broadcast on. It's not on all of the time. So you can toggle the on and off switch 3 or 4 times. I think it's 3 times to get the Wi-Fi turned on, or you can pull the cover and turn the Wi-Fi on that way. Now, let's say that you want to program this and you don't have, you don't want to do it with your cell phone. You want to do it the old school way, which is nothing wrong with that. You can use the LCD screen and the little hat switch and the buttons to program it just like you could on the Norton 6000. So there's that option as well. I think it's really user-friendly, really, really cool. The 6300 comes in 2 different links. That's another update that they made about a year and a half ago. The standard one that they came out with first was that 39 5/8. So let's see if I can do this. So this length right there, that was the initial one that came out, and it was a little long if you wanted to put 2 of them side by side for a double door application. So they came out with the shorter one, and they kept the longer one because if you have a 7.0 door, then with a 2-inch frame reveal, that means the operator is just shy of 40 inches, which ends up fitting perfectly in line with the uprights of the frame. It just looks really clean. So both are available. These charts that I'm showing you came directly out of the Norton catalog. They're really good for telling you which part number you need for what particular application. So where would we use this? Things that it can do. On the push side of the door, that means the operator is mounted on the push side of the door, we can power this open up to 135 degrees. On the pull side, something that is unique to the 6300, it can actually power open to a full 180 degrees. So if you're pulling the door open and you want that door to stay in the hold open position right up against the wall, there's nothing there that it can run into, then you may want to template this operator for the 180. So that's something that's really cool about that. Because this is an electromechanical, it has the ability to do that power assist. It can sense your movement. It's really, really low profile. If you have a lot of things in the opening that you wouldn't normally be able to mount something above the frame that far, then this is a great option for you on that. Work up to doors 200 pounds. It is considered medium to heavy duty, where our 6000 we'll talk about here in a second is considered our heaviest duty operator. So the 6300, medium to heavy duty. Door width 36 inches to 48, and you can do also double egress applications as well. And you do have to specify hand because one operator will be set as a pull, and one operator will be set as a push, and they're different arms. Also, the 6300 can be ordered in a push and a pull kit. So check out that. That's really cool. If you're a stocking distributor and you just want to keep one on the shelf, the kit is pretty cool. It's got all the arms that you would need, and it work right hand, left hand, push or pull, all in the box. So next we're going to look at the electro-hydraulic 6000 series and watch a video of the introduction for that, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it.
The 6000 series low-energy operator from Norton is prepared to withstand the daily abuses of even the most highly trafficked doors, including hospital corridors, high school entrances, and busy public spaces such as libraries and government buildings. The Norton 6000 series combines built-in intelligence with the Grade 1 reliability of an integral 7500 mechanical door closer for smooth and efficient door control. Installation is a breeze, with the backplate serving as both a template and heavy-duty platform for the operator's small number of components. The modularity of the 6000 series operators and backplate make installation easy enough for one person, even on double-door applications. This special design makes shipping and stocking of full-length two-door units convenient and economical too. The Norton 6000 series modern look blends with most door frames. Even double-door models feature a full-length cover for seamless aesthetic appeal. Norton's full range of low-energy operators offers the right levels of door control and code compliance needed for a myriad of commercial swing door applications, from open to close.
So that was the new 6000 update. If you haven't seen it, about 2 years ago, we gained the aluminum cover, we gained the new backplate, and then they came out with the backplate that links together so that we can have that double door application. Really, really awesome heavy duty operator, easy to install. The previous 6000, equally as heavy duty, but it really kind of required two people to install it because everything was hooked up already to the mounting plate. So you would put a couple of screws in the frame, and then you had a 35-pound operator that you were trying to lift up and hang into position. So it really did require two people to be safe. As far as configuration, again, Norton really does a good job of listening to their customers, and they come up with all kinds of different configurations to fit different applications. Note that if it's a double door application, D is in front of the part number. Okay, that seems pretty simple. And then you can look at the other options here, pull side, push side, as well as there's a kit now as well that has a push and a pull arm. Other configurations, these are great because we can look at our particular door, our particular environment, and figure out, okay, what's the frame reveal? How far does it need to travel? How far does it need to power open? And then once it powers open, do I still need to push it further? All of these things, all these charts are found in Norton's catalog, which is digital. You can get to it via the DSS resource library, which we'll talk about later. So 6000 is a high traffic, heavy duty, typically spec driven universities, hospitals, K through 12 is where this operator fits, where you're going to get a lot of use, a lot of abuse. Its maximum push side is only 110 degrees. So that's something you got to pay attention to. What do you need? And that's powered. You can get a different arm that allows you to push it a little bit further than it can power open on its own, but something you got to pay attention to. And then the pull side, again, 110 degrees. If you need more than that, maybe go with the 6300. It is almost completely silent. That operator makes very, very little noise. Really great for hospital applications where patients are trying to recover and you want to keep the noise down as low as possible. 6000 is great for that. It just, like I said, makes almost no noise at all. It has double egress applications and then the double door with the continuous cover. It's not one cover, it's really three pieces that kind of snap together, but it still looks really good. Next, we're going to talk about the 5800 series ADA-EZ, which I showed you earlier. It's kind of like our hybrid model, really cool for certain applications.
Introducing one of the world's only regenerative power door operators. The 5800 series ADA-EZ from Norton Door Controls is a simple solution for high traffic doors that occasionally require automatic operation. The unit's regenerative drive system creates its own power through manual operation. No wires necessary. If electrical power is necessary, a transformer kit can plug the operator into a common outlet. The unit mounts like a traditional door closer and protects the door, frame, and operator from high wind and abuse. An optional interface module connects the operator to wireless push buttons, access control systems, and electric locking devices. A patented auto-tune feature sets door speed and force parameters in compliance with ANSI standards to ensure user safety. The Norton 5800 series ADA-EZ is a simple, low-energy solution for a multitude of applications from open to close.
There are several different kits available with the Norton 5800 ADA-EZ. The first kit is what we call a Pro Kit, and that's where it is going to be designed for a door that primarily gets used as a door closer, and occasionally you need it for ADA access. And this is where we need about 80 cycles, or they say at least 80 cycles a day. That means people walking through the door manually. That doesn't mean pressing the handicap button, but that means, or the activation button, that means going through the door manually 80 times a day. What that'll do is that will keep the battery, the lithium polymer battery, charged enough so that 25% of the use can be a button press. I know lots of numbers and facts and figures, but basically what that means is that it's regenerative. So every time that we walk through the door manually, we're putting a trickle charge on the battery pack. This works fantastic in certain places, and it doesn't work at all in others. Really depends on the individual application. I will say this though, this operator fully charged with all of the advanced features turned off. Basically, we just want this as an operator where we press the button and the door opens. It will do 2,000 openings, or at least that's what I've been told, and I think it's very accurate because I have one on my training vehicle that we never charge, and all we ever do is press the button, and gosh, it was going like 2 years, and I still haven't had drained it. But just know that if we're only pressing the button, it's going to drain the battery. It's going to drain the battery. Now, couple good news. One, if you have the ability to run wire to it, then you can get the next kit, the next Pro kit, which is the Pro Plus kit, that comes with a DC transformer or AC to DC transformer that gives us 24 volts of continuous power, and that will keep the battery charged indefinitely. So at this point, we've just taken the hybrid that is using a battery. It's using a very efficient power source to keep it charged, and we don't have to worry about how many times it gets used manually and how many times we get a button press. Okay, I will say this: we have a university in California that is actually, they have 9 of these, and they are using them standalone. They're on a cinder block wall. There wasn't a good way that they could get power to it, and they just have the cable on an extension cord. So if they get a call from a department that it's dead, it's not working anymore, that night after the day's done, they run an extension cord to the battery. It charges in a couple of hours. The next morning they get there before students arrive, they unplug it, it's fully charged. And they said that sometimes they're good for 6 months before they have to actually fully charge the battery again. Again, it depends on the amount of use. So with both of these kits, you do need to specify what type of push button you want. Sometimes if you're buying them from a stocking distributor, they're going to cover or carry the double gang, the large full-size buttons. Maybe they'll carry the slim, the narrow. It really depends on what they decided to order. But just know, if you want the cable to potentially plug it in, or that's what your intention is from the beginning, then you're going to want the Pro Plus. If you order the Pro Plus, you do need to specify if you're going to mount it on the push or the pull side. Now, in my experience, the most common kit that people order is the Pro Complete. That's because you can have it and install it right hand, left hand, push or pull right out of the box, because it comes with all the brackets and arms necessary to do both push and pull. It comes with the AC/DC transformer, so you can plug it in if you want to do that. It also comes with a different cover where you can go from a black to that aluminum finish. That's so if the operator is hanging into an aluminum storefront door that is an aluminum mill finish, it kind of breaks it up. It makes the operator look less intrusive, I guess, there with the aluminum cover. You have an option of the narrow switches, the full gang, the wide switches, or a wave to open, which we'll talk a little bit more about in a little bit. So applications, push pull side, max opening is limited to 95 degrees. So if your customer or you require something that opens further than that, then maybe the 5800 is not the right one for you. It's really heavy duty. It's rated for doors up to 250 pounds. It's small, but it is a chunk. It weighs a lot. Door weight, 36 to 48 pounds. It's super easy to install. If you can install a door closer, you can have one of these up and running in about 30 or 45 minutes if you have your tools ready to go. They're really, really intuitive. Comes with sticky templates. It takes all the guesswork about where I need to drill the holes. Really, really like the ADA 5800. Stack pressure, power close. They actually also increased the amount of force on the power close for certain applications. You can increase that now to 30 pounds. So again, application would be a really lightweight door at the beginning of a storefront, or the front of a store, and you just get a lot of stack pressure. You get that air blowing through there, normally float. I saw a video recently of somebody who their door was floating so much that it would shake the bushes out front of their office. They put an ADA Easy on there and it had enough closing force that it could power that and shut that door, where there wasn't even a door closer on the market that could do that. So it's a pretty cool application. Next, we're going to cover the Norton 5700. This is a electro-hydraulic operator. I don't have a video for this one, sorry, but it's very, very similar to a 6000, but for less traffic and lighter doors. So think of it that way, right? 6000, really, really powerful operator for that high traffic, high use, high abuse. And it has a Norton 7500 grade 1 closer that is designed for those heavier openings. This 5700 comes with a Norton 1600 series closer. And think about it this way: if I was going to put a 1600 series closer on a door, then I could go with the 5700 as far as the traffic and the heavy dutiness of this operator. It comes with built-in obstruction detection. Again, that's going to be on the opening cycle only. This is also very, very quiet and smooth operator. It's not going to be near as expensive as the 6000 because it doesn't have as many bells and whistles as the 6000, because it's not required to. We needed an operator for the smaller businesses, for, again, the doors that are not getting used all day long. But it has a hold open adjustment, so how long the door stays in the open position after it goes to that full open position. On and off switch, also push and go standard into this unit. And an onboard power supply. That power supply is enough to power an electric strike, a mag lock, or if you had one of our motorized electric latch retraction exit devices, it's also got enough power on board to run those. Now, the 5700 comes in some kits that are really, really cool for people that want to stock this. They want the push and pull arm built into the box. That's going to be the 5740. Of course, you can't just order the 5740. You also have to order it by the finish, but that's just something that you could do. Also, you can get that with a push pull arm with an extension cable or a power cable and wave to open switches. That's the 5740K2. That's also a very, very popular kit from 2020 and even now. And also, if you want a wireless operator right out of the box, it's got the wireless transmitter, it's got some fobs, it has the wireless push buttons, power cord, and the push and pull arm. That's going to be the 5740K3. So Norton put these kits together just to make it easier for you guys to order. So if we're talking about applications, the push side opening 170 degrees, pull side 110. This is again a medium use. It's a good operator, heavy duty, but it's not designed for the type of openings that you would put, say, on the 6000. Doors up to 250 pounds. Very, very lightweight, easy for one installer to put on the door. And again, the universal unit with the push and pull arms is really, really awesome. Things again for the next operator that we're going to look at is the 5600. This is slightly smaller than the 57 in size. They look very similar in the picture, but it's a little bit smaller than the 5700. And this is an electromechanical operator. This one, out of all of the other operators, is not fire rated. Okay, it means we can't even put it on a 20-minute fire rated door. It's not designed for that. What it's primarily used for is those doors that, again, not fire rated, but perhaps we have a restroom that's a push and pull. There's not any latching hardware on it, although there could be, but let's say that there isn't any latching hardware on it. You can get this in a kit that has the wave to open, and this is just going to power the door open, and then we wave again. It can open it from the inside. Really, really awesome electromechanical operator. We have the ability to adjust the hold open time. It has push and go built into it. And then you can also get this as an executive model. Also comes with that power supply, the same power supply that's on the 5700 for powering the strikes, for the mag locks, or the motorized electric latch retraction exit devices. This particular operator comes with more kits than any other, and that's because as people like those kits, they order them that way. So you can get them with the wave to open. You can get wave to open switches with a couple of different electric strike models. This first one there is the 1500, and the other one is the 1006 from HES. Really, really good strikes. I think it's awesome that we work with our sister companies to build these kits together. You can also get it with an operator that is set up radio frequency, wireless right out of the box, and then an executive kit. This is perfect for those offices where you have an open door policy, but if somebody comes in the office and they need to talk about something confidential, you can hit a fob, and this kit is ready to go wireless. It will go from full open to full closed, and it just toggles back and forth. So if you press the button when the door was closed, it will go to an open position. And if it's open, it will go to the closed position. So that's executive mode or executive kit. And you do have to specify that when you order it initially. So just something to note. For the push side, it's 110 degrees, pull side 95 degrees, ADA compliant, again, non-fire rated, 32 to 36 inch door width. We're down to 150 pounds. So again, we went the 5800, the 57, and the 6000 are all at that 250 pound door mark. The 6300 about 200 pounds, and now we're down to the 5600 down at that 150 pound mark. Great for classrooms, offices, dorm rooms, public restrooms, again, non-fire rated. If you want to order the activation sensors and those methods separately, you can. You don't have to order them in a kit. So we have those safety motion sensors, the wave to open wall switches, the infrared receivers, the radio frequency receivers, I should say. All of these are in the catalog. Catalogs are really easy to follow, and I encourage everybody to get to that resource catalog area of our ASSA ABLOY DSS website, and from there you can actually get to any of our North American ASSA ABLOY brands, not just Norton. I love that about the resource library. So let's talk a little bit about how Norton lays out their part numbers. The first 2 digits of their part number is always the series. Okay, so 6300 starts with 63, that makes sense. And then they give us these little drop down menus of what that number would be depending on what we're looking for, right? So if I want that universal push side mounting right here, that's going to be 63.4. And then if I want a full length, because it's just going on a 7.0 door and I want that operator that goes all the way across that looks really nice and seamless, then that would be a 63.42 by the finish. So very clear, and they do this across all of their operators. They keep it very consistent for the user. The Norton price list, the current price list, is also published and available through the resource library. If we wanted to price, let's say, the 6300 series, and I wanted to look at that right there with the double lever arm, select one, that's the 6332. I want the full length cover. That's the price. Let's say that I wanted to add a wave to open switch, and plus I wanted to add a presence sensor. So add those up together, and that's my list price. Okay, we're not talking buying programs today. We're not talking discounts today, because that's none of my business and I don't know anything about that. But that's how you would go through the price book. We're going to watch a quick video on the touchless solutions that they have put together for all of the operators, so you can be better informed about that if you have customers that are really looking for that contactless, that touchless environment. And then we'll talk about some resources that are available to you so you can find information.
The Norton portfolio of low-energy operators provides many hands-free methods for opening all varieties of doors. Radio frequency devices automatically open doors when coming into the range of the door operator's sensor. Wave to open switches, coupled with Norton low-energy operators, allow occupants to easily move through a building without transferring germs or leaving messy fingerprints. These highly sensitive devices pick up hand gestures within 4 inches of the switch, ensuring operation only when intended. From bathrooms to building entrances, these touchless door operating solutions provide a healthy means for meeting ADA requirements in all sorts of buildings. Norton offers complete kits of all components needed to automate a door, including a low-energy operator and wave to open switch. Wave switches and RF devices are also sold separately. Leverage the proven reliability of Norton door controls to ensure the ease of use and safe operation of all building doors, from open to close.
So thanks so much for sticking with me up until this point. Right now, I want to talk a little bit about some resources that are available to you, totally free, that you can use to help you do your job, right? We want to make it easy to do business with. We want to be easy to do business with. So the first one, and I think honestly is the most important out of all of them, is the customer support app. ASSA ABLOY customer support app. It's available from the Play Store or the App Store with iTunes, and it's just phenomenal. You get access to the catalogs for every brand. Under each individual brand, you can actually have conversations via chat, or you can do video calls with your tech reps for each brand. You can send emails, you can get to the installation instructions, the wiring diagrams, all of those at the touch of your fingers. Basically, it's a portal so that you can get to the area of the website that has all of that information. Okay, if you're a technician and you're working on Norton low energy operators and we're trying to program something or we're trying to modify something, we can't quite figure it out, not sure where that wire goes, we can do a FaceTime. Essentially, it's like FaceTime with a tech rep. We can use our phone, our camera to show them exactly what we're working on. It cuts down on that back and forth lack of communication time that we always have when we're talking to technical support. They're trying to figure out what we're working on and we're not quite sure what they're saying. This just cuts down on that. They can also draw on your screen. They can annotate on your screen and show you, hey, well, that black wire actually needs to go into the normally open position, not the normally closed. That's why your lock is working in an opposite way, right? So that's really, really awesome. For customer support, again, we can use the app to call directly into customer support. We can send them an email. We can chat, all of that at your fingertips. So again, ASSA ABLOY, search customer support, completely free to download. If you're working on a desktop computer, you're not using your phone very much, and you're not going to be using the app, then definitely you need to go to our ASSAABLOYDSS.com website. At the top, kind of in the middle, is a tab that says ASSA ABLOY Resource Center. This is the same place where you can get all of those installation guides, the templates, the catalogs, the pricing sheets, all of that right there at the resource library. So click on that. Get you all that good information. Bookmark that on your desktop. I know I have it bookmarked so that I can get to it really easily. For some of our products, we have them loaded into an application called Built. It's called Intelligent Solutions, or Intelligent Instructions, I should say. Basically, we take our installation instructions for a lot of our products. I think we have over 100 products on this app right now, and it breaks the installation instructions into a step-by-step 3D how-to guide. And you can actually have the lady read the instructions to you. Step 1, install this screw. Step 2, turn this knob. You get the idea. Built, you search for it, again, completely free for you. And then once you get into the app, you need to search for ASSA ABLOY, or you can search for individual brand such as Norton. Last year, even though it was a really crazy year, our awesome training specialist, Katie Flower, worked with our ASSA ABLOY team and got this ASSA ABLOY Egress calculator up and running. So this tool will help you. You can use it on your desktop, tablet, or smartphone. It will calculate the occupant load, the egress width, the quantity of exits, the swing direction of the doors, and this is all based on the International Building Code. So really, really awesome. Quick reference for the International Building Code hardware requirements. You can also download and save what you were working on, your project, to a PDF, completely free for you guys if you have single sign-on, Connect, or a guest login. We have several of these courses on how to use this tool already up and ready to download or ready to view on our ASSA ABLOY Academy website. Go on previously recorded webinars and you can find ASSA ABLOY Egress calculator on there. Learn how to use it. Also have a link at the end of that training how you can download this tool, or gain, not download it, but I should say gain access to it. And because it works on a browser, it will work on any device. So with that, we're right at the top of the hour. I appreciate everybody, again, hanging out with us today, tuning in for training. At some point, we will be face-to-face and hands-on with product again. But any questions before we end it for today? I'll hang out for just a few minutes and answer any questions that you have that I can answer. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. I know I am. Thanks so much for tuning in. Everybody, take care. Reach out to us anytime at ASSA ABLOY Academy. We have 5 trainers. We would love to get to know you and hear more about what you're working on and figure out ways that we can add value. Take care. Bye now.